Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday evening, the 15th of March, 2020. This is my look ahead on commodities for the week commencing Monday, the 16th of March, 2020. So I'm starting off with gold. So really fascinating to me the last week was, so gold kind of fell through my longer term trend, still being to the upside, nothing changing here. This is a nice bearish, nice little bearish candle there, which is good. So just to talk about gold in isolation, one of the things that I have spoken about in previous videos that are kind of on pause, but it's always on the cards for me, is we broke out of this key level at 1350, and I'd really like to see gold come back to test that level before resuming its longer term uptrend. That being said, it doesn't really have to do that in terms of Fibonacci levels or retracement levels. It could perhaps come in at any of these earlier levels and find support before resuming that. But if this current candle maintains its bearishness, that is certainly something that will be sitting on the cards for me. So although my longer term, in other words between now and the end of the year, I still expect reasonably gold to head up towards 1800 at least. I'm looking for opportunities for the monthly to get rid of that. If it does come back and test this level, in my books, it is still a very good buy opportunity, and it makes a lot of sense to do that. Even if on the shorter term, over the next few weeks, it looks really bearish, I'm not too concerned about that. Having said that, let's go and have a look at the weekly. So the weekly was quite a bearish candle. This uptrend is still intact. So if it finds support at this previous level this coming week, that'll be fine by me. But overall, the trend is just not tradable. This is the issue. Now, having said that, there may be shorting opportunities to the downside. So this is going to be one of those awkward things where there's a monthly uptrend, a weekly uptrend, but we could be shifting into a longer term pullback coming down towards that 1350, 1425 level, and therefore there could be shorting opportunities. So it's one of those ones where I may have to update it during the week as it unfolds. Having a look at silver. Oh, and one more thing that I wanted to add to this is on my list of commodities here, what was interesting to me this week was that every single commodity, including digital commodities, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all tanked, which almost as though the markets just pulled their money out effectively, it didn't even just short the market, they just exited the market, which I found very interesting. And I'm not saying that is what happened, I'm just saying it's interesting that there was this correlation that just commodities just went south. So silver being weaker than gold effectively dropped to the downside. It looks really good here on the monthly coming down to these support levels. If it comes down to that in the coming week, that makes sense to me, and I'll be looking for bounces off that. But it is in a downtrend, so it is bearish. Then having a look at copper. Copper also has this downtrend going. Actually not looking, although it is heading down, it's a downtrend on multiple time frames, it doesn't look super bearish. Platinum. Now, platinum, yeah, that's broken into fresh historic lows. Okay, well, I mean, at least in recent years, and that's interesting to me. So that I would now consider potentially looking for shorting opportunities over the coming week. Retracements on the daily, back into the moving averages, or perhaps even on the 4-hourly or intraday timeframes. Palladium. This one is worthwhile talking about, really good. We've been very overextended. So obviously in previous videos, I've spoken about that monthly overextension and the weekly overextension. We've pulled back down. So the monthly is now back into a key level. It's back down at a level where it would be very nice to see a monthly bullish candle. So what I'm going to do specifically with this is just not look at it until effectively later on at the end of the month, and then potentially at the end of April. All right, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'll be looking for a bullish candle to form here. Alternatively, I would need to see a return to an uptrend on the daily and or weekly in order to consider buying on that one. Right now, it's overextended to the downside, so there's no shorting opportunities there for me. Then having a look at Brent crude. And so oils had a bit of a rough week, obviously OPEC and all kinds of drama that unfolded. So this last week has been very interesting from that perspective. We've gapped down, we're overextended to the downside, so there might be some shorter term intraday opportunities trading this to the upside as it attempts to close that gap. But without a doubt, this is more bearish than bullish. And seeing as all the commodities are generally bearish but overextended, I'm still leaning to the downside, but cautiously. So in others, what I mean is I'm still interested more in shorting opportunities than long opportunities. As a trend-based trader, I'm trading with it. At some point, it'd be interesting to see these retrace. This is now WTI, West Texas, looking for this to retrace back up into these levels of support to test them for resistance. So we could actually find, this is something I'm keeping an open mind on, I could find that shorting commodities for the next few months becomes a thing, and we'll see how that goes. So coronavirus isn't really going anywhere at this point in time, and I think the ineptitude of the Trump administration is really becoming apparent even to Republicans, and I think that has also shaken kind of everything to its core. But I think it's a really good shakeup. And at the same time, obviously, I hope all of you are being very careful out there not going insane in terms of buying up all the toilet paper and hand sanitizer, but just calmly going about your business and trying obviously to look after yourself and your loved ones. So yeah, we've gapped down, shorting opportunities definitely, but also overextended. So I do expect potentially this week to see price retrace before resuming a downtrend. So that's kind of the first thing on my cards. And if it does update again during the week, it's worthwhile then doing an update on these videos. And just highlighting here, just Bitcoin dropping as well. So definitely overextended to the downside. Broken through recent support levels. So potential retracements in this area, looking for shorting opportunities back down to those monthly levels. And it's the same with Ethereum. Really, there's just a lot of this kind of panic and fear going on around the markets. And for trend traders, though, such as myself, will be looking for shorter term opportunities in the direction of the existing trend, but also keeping in mind that a lot of markets are overextended and could retrace.